Hello everyone, welcome back to another free-for-all for Warhammer 2. I am bringing the Dark Elves. The enemies today is the Skaven and two High Elf players. Going over my army first, I decided to try out these shades. This is going to be the cheapest of the three different shades. There is the dual sword version and the great sword version, which costs more, but these are just the cheapy-cheaps. Stats here, they are still pretty decent in melee combat, but their missile damage is 34, focused on armor piercing with a range of 130. They actually outrange the Dark Shards by 5, which isn't a big deal, but on top of that, all the shades also come with Stalk, which is a pretty big deal, and Vanguard deployment, but very low armor, and low unit count too, compared to, like, you know, melee infantry. But I am bringing 5 of them here. Behind them we have 4 Bleak Swords, just because I wanted some kind of frontline infantry to run interference if we needed it. Over here is my leadership and some other units. We got the Dreadlord with the sword and shield riding her Cold One, and I mixed her into a group of the Cold One Dread Knights. So unfortunately, these things, since they're cold ones, they will be prone to rampage if they take damage sometimes. But besides that, they are pretty tanky with 120 armor. Their melee stats are pretty good. They're kind of just like a melee cav. And then the armor piercing focus with an okay charge bonus. And they also come with fear. But again, rampage. Honestly, I don't really like cold one cav across the board. For the Dark Elves, for the Lizards, I just... like, your infantry units going on a rampage, you know, that's fine, whatever. But when your cav can go on a rampage, that's pretty brutal. So I don't really like them, but we're going to give them a shot here with these Dread Knights. And then over here is the big Hydra, and all of its regenerating and awesome glory. It just looks really cool. There's no doubt about that. Then besides that, I just have a caster over here riding a horse. She is going to be the Sorceress of Fire. And for the spells that I brought here, we have the... we have the the Burning Head, which has been changed into a wind spell, so now it actually goes in a straight line, which is excellent. I also have the AoE buff, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and then the personal buff of Cascading Fire Cloak to add to melee defense and armor piercing. I brought a unique item here, the Dark Star Cloak, which will improve power recharge rate as a constant aura. She has one other one which can decrease an enemy's power rate for like under a minute, I think it is. She also has Kindle Flame because she's a Sorceress of Fire, and then so on and so forth. And that is my army. For this High Elf army over here, their big, I guess, central focus here is going to be 4 Great Eagles. 2 of them are being ridden on by their leadership. We have a Prince on this Eagle, and then a Noble on this Eagle. And so on the Eagle, the Noble actually loses their anti-large bonus and armor piercing, so... I don't know if I would actually bring a Noble on a Great Eagle. If the Noble could keep an anti-large bonus on the Eagle, did I just say an Eagle on an Eagle? Noble on an Eagle? That would be pretty cool. But the fact that they do not have armor piercing or their bonus versus large, that's kind of harsh. But we got 4 Great Eagles over there, and then their infantry group is going to be a very tightly packed group here, being led by another Noble, which keeps their, you know, anti-armor and bonus versus large because they're on the ground and on foot. We have 2 White Lions, 2 Sword Masters buried in here. Is it 2 Sword Masters? Hold on. Let me double check. Yeah. 2 Sword Masters, 2 White Lions, a Phoenix Guard, and then 2 normal Archers. All kind of just tightly packed in here, moving their way over here to where the second High Elf player is, who has 2 of the Silver Helms. This is their mid-tier shock cav. They're not bad. They look pretty cool. This is the unshielded version. One right over here and then one over there in this forest. Their main part of the forest here is going to be 4 spearmen being led by Teclis with, I believe, all of their spells and passives over there, as you can see. Pretty squishy in melee, so you really need to keep this person protected, especially when you don't put them on a horse. I would put them on a horse. I'm just saying, it's easier to protect him if he's on a horse. But yeah, behind him has those 4 Elven Spearmen. Behind that is going to be 2 of the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Behind that is going to be 4 Archers. And then behind them, 4 Lothran Sea Guard. You didn't think you would go an episode without seeing a Lothran Sea Guard, did you? Well, here they are. Actually, maybe you did, because when I played High Elves, I didn't bring the Sea Guard. Huh. That's on me. I failed the High Elves. So yeah, 4 Lothran Sea Guard there, and that is going to be their army. Pretty tightly packed over there, too. They're currently firing at the Skaven, which the Skaven has deployed in a couple formations over here. On this extreme flank, we have a group of Rat Ogres leading a charge of 2 Clan Rats, 1 normal, 1 with the Spear, 2 additional Spear Clan Rats in this force, with 4 additional normal Clan Rats as a front line. They have an additional Rat Ogre over here with the Assassin and Lord Skrawk as their leadership. 2 Play Call Catapults, Hellpit Abomination, and then this, the Doom Wheel. And that is going to be their force. Again, I'm kind of running through this pretty quickly. If you want me to slow it down and speak more to everything's strengths and weaknesses, let me know. But I've kind of covered all these units, so any new unit we come across, like these, you know, Shades and the Cold One Dread Knights, I spend a little time on. But for the most part, going to get these introductions quick and easy. Look at these dudes. Very squishy, though. Gotta be careful. Anyway, let's start the battle. So initially I was going to come in behind the Skaven. As you can see here with my Shades, they do have stalks. The enemy does not know that they are here. Even though they don't know that they're there, these two clan rats are still going to kind of push this way, which is going to force me to run back because I don't want the enemy to know that I have these Shades yet. I just want them to see these Bleak Swords and this Hydra's kind of hanging out back here. Sorceress is going to be over here to provide sight over here in the forest. And basically, not much is going to happen back here. My leadership with the Dread Knights are over here. I'm going to fall back. The Skaven player is eventually going to send this group of Rat Ogres into the forest to go after my Sorceress. I'm going to let them catch her, and then I'm going to pull my Shades up here, which this is actually a natural barrier here, over here, there, and there, so you can't walk through that. You have to walk around. So I'm going to walk my Shades right up here, and they're going to take out the Rat Ogres. I'm saying this right now because we're going to be focusing on this part of the battle for this first pass-through, because there's really not much that I'm doing. I'm just going to, again, be taking out a group of Rat Ogres here soon. This player is going to be dealing with these play called catapults, which are trying to snipe out their Eagle Claw bolt throwers. And then they're also going to have to deal with this high elf player who's marching through the forest over here. The Eagle crew squad is going to be coming over here as well. And then that Rat Ogre and the two clan rats have already pushed the Silver Helms almost out of the forest. And then the main Skaven force is going to be coming back up. I think they thought I was going to be coming behind them with my Cold Ones, which I am. But just not yet. I'm going to wait for this infantry force to march against the High Elf, because that's obviously what the Skaven player wants to do, since they are throwing their catapults that way. So I'm going to let them do that, and then I'm still going to just sit here, wait patiently, and then spring an ambush with my Dreadlord and the Cold Ones to try and take out their artillery. It's going to be my goal, which is why you can see my little flags over there. The two clan rats that made me retreat my Shades, which still have not been seen, are now going to be coming out here to join the rest of their force, and they're going to be marching against the High Elf. This is when they're going to get this force to actually do an advance or a march as well. And then the High Elves, you can see here, are applying pressure on their left side. All the Great Eagles over here are actually going to land on the Lothern Sea Guard and not the Archer. So, you know, pretty squishy as flying creatures go. So they're going to land right into a bunch of anti-large spearmen right there. You can guess how that's going to go. Tekka's walking over here. He's going to cast his Phoenix spell. It's going to go right that way. Over here, I think we're about to spring our trap against the Rat Ogres. About another 30, 60 seconds there. You see, the High Elf has been just taking a beating from those play called catapults. Now the Clan Rats are going to go bloop, bloop, bloop. This one's going to go around. And they're going to try and time their attack with their secondary force, which had to retreat a little bit, but now they're going to start advancing forward. Eagles are into this Lothern Sea Guard. There goes the Phoenix spell from the enemy tech list. And you can see that also being supported by these two archers, not going to go too well for this noble and the prince. Not too well at all. They're going to take a lot of damage here from the anti-large and the archers that are just peppering their sides, because the Great Eagles, even mounted with these heroes and lords, they're not that tanky. Like, melee defense are pretty okay, but it's just like their armor is not amazing, so they're just taking so much damage. Here comes the other two Great Eagles down to join the fray. Right now, I think I just killed the Rat Ogres. There they go. Yep, and they are going to break right here. The Rat Ogres did manage to catch my Sorceress, though, and bring her down to half health, which I was not planning on. There go my Cold One ambush. Cold One surprise. We ambush one. We get the other one to rout, and we're going to go bloop and join our army. Meanwhile, over here, the Hell Pit and the second Rat Ogres from this force that was over in the forest are going to be chasing these Silver Helms and continue to chase them, doing a lot of good damage. They're trying to run away from the Lothern Sea Guard, which is probably a good idea, because the Sea Guard they're everything packed into one. I'm surprised they're not armor piercing for, like, 400 gold. So they're going to try and catch these Hell Pit Abomination and the Rat Ogres, but the Hell Pit Abomination is going to force his way through and chase the Silver Helms, which are now going to be going through here and trying to support a fight against these Clan Rats, which are now ambushing their Evil Claw Bolt Throwers, because it was unprotected, and then here comes the Doom Wheel as well. I'm seeing this, and I'm like, So my Sorceress is now taking a journey through the forest, and we're going to try out that Burning Head spell. Wait, it's not the Burning Head, is it? Something else. Flaming, whatever it is. It's a giant flaming skull. Burning Head. Over here, you can see that Teclis, I guess, charged into the enemy formation. What did you do? I missed this the first time. Oh, here we go. Look at that damage on all those low armor units. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's not done. You poor spearman. I'm sorry. This spell is actually good now that it's a wind spell and not just like going off in all crazy directions. So that's going to be my contribution to the fight over here. You can see that my martial prowess, or not martial prowess, sorry, murderous prowess, is that what it's called? Is going to proc. Unfortunately, I'm not going to really get to make use of it because right here, I don't want to just charge in my bleak swords to this archer formation that's supported by all this crazy infantry. I want to hit them with my shades first. So we're going to still pay attention to this fight over here. You can see that the 2 silver helms at this point, I think, are mostly destroyed. I'm trying to spot them. I believe they're almost destroyed by this point. There may be one over here still. Yeah, but you can see it is near death. And the other one, I think, already routed off the field. Helping Abomination doing a lot of good damage to these bunched up archers and Lothran Seaguard. The Clan Rats took care of these Eagle Called Bolt Throwers. Now the Plague Monks, summoned by Lord Skrawk, are going to finish the job. These Spearmen have kind of been killed. Partly due to me, partly due to Clan Rats. And this High Elf player, for the most part, is going to be in a chain route. The, Doom Wheel doing what it does. Oh, no, wait, I missed you, too. Wow, I missed a lot. Alright, so these silver helms are actually still really fresh. Okay. Nice drawing to the Clan Rats. Let me tell you this, they're not going to be able to save this High Elf player because the High Elf player does fall. They are going to do a chain round here soon. I'm not entirely sure why Teclis charged this High Elf player. That seems kind of crazy. So the High Elf player, as I was advancing on them, you can see they're now going to withdraw further into the forest to run away from me, or just, I don't know, try and finish off Teclis. I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to do. So right now, again, I'm still not really doing much. I'm just trying to press inward into this forest now, chasing this High Elf player. This fight is just like all over the place. Alright, secondary Phoenix going down. Alright, good Phoenix. You can see the Helping Abomination took a ton of damage from those Lothran Seaguard. They are so good. They are so good. Why are they so cheap? I don't understand. They are the best hybrid unit. Well, okay, maybe not the best. Considering that the Shades can also be armor-piercing anti-infantry and armor-piercing missile damage, those are really good. But they also cost a lot more than these Lothran Seaguard. I guess the trade-off is that they do have the armor-piercing missile damage. So yeah, actually, these Silver Helms kept up a fight a lot longer than I thought. Good for them. Doing a lot of good damage to these Clan Rats with spears. It's about this time that the High Elf player is going to start advancing towards my direction, so let's take a look at what's going on over here. I'm going to run in my Bleak Swords to try and keep the Swordmasters, Phoenix Guard, and White Lions busy. Pull back my Shades temporarily because obviously these Great Eagles are going to be going at the Shades, which the enemy now knows that I have. So we're going to start spreading out here. You can see me spreading out, and this one's going to spread out as well. Going to throw my Hydra. Going to throw my Dread Lord with the Sword and Shield into this fight as well. I did a quick charge to these White Lions as my Bleak Swords were holding them in place. And there we go, we've already snuck. Look at this killing field. Just look at this killing field. Just, they're getting it from every single direction. Now look at this. On my way out, the cold ones actually took enough damage from these White Lions to now go on a rampage, which sucks. Sucks so much. Actually, they may have taken damage from my crossbows now that I think about it. I don't know. In any case, my 4 Bleak Swords are doing their best to hold off superior infantry as we now deal with all 4 of these Great Eagles. And we deal with them pretty hardcore. We chase them all down and kill them. Dreadlord's going to kill the last one right there. So those 4 Eagles are now dead. And this is when the other High Elf player is going to rout off the field. And now I have to deal with 2 White Lions, 2 Swordmasters, and 2 Archers over here. We have dealt a decent amount of damage to them, but also they took damage from Teclis and the other High Elves. So it is our job to now finish them. So we're going to be throwing in the War Hydra on the side here against the 2 White Lions. We're going to be throwing in the Dreadlord over here as well because she does do armor piercing while on a cold one. Buffing up all of our Shades to increase their damage, including their missile damage, so now they do more. So now they're going to rain fiery death upon the White Lions and the Phoenix Guard. Actually, they focused on the Phoenix Guard before the Eagles got them. Sorry, I forgot to show you that. They were focusing this Phoenix Guard down, and then we dealt the Eagles, and now we're dealing with the Swordmasters of Hoeth, who have now routed my Bleak Swords, because they had no chance against Swordmasters. Though, I mean, like, really, these Bleak Swords hold a long time against the Swordmaster unit, which is really surprising. I didn't cast any buffs on them or anything. So the Phoenix Guard is near death, so they're not going to do as much damage to my Hydra. They don't have as many models left, and we're raining just armor-piercing death from these shades. And remember, even after they're done with their ammunition, they're still pretty good in melee with some decent weapon strength behind it. The weakest point of them is going to be the fact that they have very low armor. And so, like, just these normal archers can actually be a threat, so that's why I'm going to run my Hydra into the archers. We are fighting in the forest, which is unfortunately bad for our Hydra, but I need to throw something at them that cannot be easily killed by these Swordmasters who are now being held off by one of my Bleak Swords that came back from routing. So now that this place is opened up, you see we're going to focus on this Noble. It's hard to target single people inside of a massive melee, so that's why now everything is cleared out. We're going to target this Noble because we can. And you can see we're going to do a massive amount of damage, try and lead him on a goose chase with our Dreadlord, who unfortunately runs into a tree, and then gets hit by the Noble. War Hydra is still over here, taking it to those two archers and finishing off what remains of that Phoenix Guard. You see the Swordmaster Poe almost reach our shades, but because we are doing so much damage against the Noble, that is going to instigate a chain rout. Just in time, because what is left of the Skaven is marching through the forest, and they're going to be coming our way. So you see that there are still 7 minutes left. So let's fast forward this a little bit. We're just going to withdraw out of the forest. I'm going to give my Hydra time to heal because we do have a Hell Pit Abomination there, which does do really well against large armored creatures. And I want to try and draw the opponent out of this forest so we can get as much damage with what remains of our archers as possible. So here we go. So we got some Clan Rats with Spears that are going to be chasing my Hydra, but I'm going to be like, nope. We're going to go into these sword version. Going to run my Bleak Swords into the Clan Rats with Spears instead. Try and mitigate as much damage to the War Hydra as possible. And I'm not opening fire with the Shades. I am waiting for the key targets, which is the Doom Wheel, their leadership, and the Hell Pit Abomination that's back in there. So we're just going to be patient, deal with these Clan Rats without expending any ammunition. And then here comes the Doom Wheel. We already know where that's going to be going, so I'm going to focus on that first. Run interference on these Clan Rats with our Sorceress of Fire. Try and prevent them from getting into our shades because they need to be focused on this Doom Wheel. And just look at that damage. That was probably a miscast breath. They probably cast it really fast. It should have been, you know, down the line. And there we go. Snipe the Doom Wheel. That's when the Hell Pit Abomination is going to be coming out. So now we're going to be focusing all our shades on the Hell Pit Abomination because it's going to be making a break right for our War Hydra, who I need to keep this front line alive. What remains of our Bleak Swords going in there as well. Unfortunately, my leader gets caught in the middle of this and just, like, destroyed by this assassin. Because assassins are pretty good. I didn't know they had an assassin because they were stalking at the time. And then they just came up to my Dreadlord and just crushed her, like, so quickly. Also, I think that they, Lord Skrull cast a spell on her with the Libricus Bubonicus or whatever. So that didn't help either. But look at that. Look at those debuffs. My gosh, she had no chance. So she is basically gone. But the good news is we have sniped the Hell Pit Abomination, and now we're sniping Lord Skrull, who's trying to charge into our shades. And look at that damage, because Skrull has like no armor or anything. And then we're going to run our sorcerers into him. So much focus fire. Meanwhile, the Hydra is holding down all these Clan Rats and the Assassin, which is also doing a lot of damage to our Hydra. We're going to take this time to try and pull away a little bit. And we're going to continue to focus Lord Skrull down, and now the Assassin is going to try and run after our Sorceress. So I'm going to fire at the Assassin because now it is separated from this group, and so now it's easy to target. My Dreadlord at this point is gone. I think 2 of my Bleak Swords are gone, but we still have 2 left. This one, I think this one comes back. I think? Yeah. So we do a massive amount of damage to that Assassin. So now I'm going to chase the Assassin down with our Sorceress, which was probably a mistake because Lord Skrull is actually going to come back here. Play Call Catapult has like 1 or 2 rounds left. Actually, that was the last round. Play Call Catapult is now out of ammunition. And we have routed the Clan Rats with our War Hydra, who is just a massive regeneration. Massive. So good. So here I'm trying to finish Lord Skrull before they get into the forest, but unfortunately he is going to get away, so I'm going to decide to use our Sorceress to continue chasing the Assassin to try and make sure that he does not come back. And he will not. Our Sorceress is going to chase him down and kill him. So yeah, the Skaven, what remains of all the Clan Rats, are going to rally around Lord Skrull. Again, I'm trying to snipe him, but it's hard with all these trees. And I am almost out of ammunition, but, you know, these are still good melee fighters. We still have a Hydra. The Assassin is going to be dying out here soonish. Look at him scurry away. What are you doing? Right now, I'm chasing the rest of the Clan Rats into the forest. I just want to see this guy die. It happens, I promise. There it is. I think. Oh man, he even twitches afterwards. Damn, that's hardcore. So I have really no choice but to chase the Skaven into the forest, because at this point, I mean, I could just sit out here and we could just waste time, but I'm like, you know what? I have the numbers. We have a War Hydra, even though in the forest they suck. Still going to roll them in there. Running the sorceress around over here, and we see that the play called Catapult Crew is there, and she's actually going to get hit by Lord Skrock's ability, and that's going to spell doom for our sorceress. Should be here in a moment. There it is. Liber Bubonicus, and it just destroys what's left of her health. And she is going to rot off the field. But luckily, we are winning this quick combat over here with the Hydra, and we ran in a couple shades to support, and our Bleak Swords. Now we're going to press further into the forest, because we still need to kill Lord Skrock and the play called Catapult Crew. Now I am out of leadership. And here comes yet another clan rat summoned by Skrock. So I'm going to try and run my War Hydra into interference with these clan rats. And we're trying to get close enough so we can snipe Lord Skrock with what remains of our shades. Somehow, these clan rats with spears are going to come back from routing even though they're surrounded by enemies. Not entirely sure how that happens, but they're going to cause us a little bit of problems. Like, there you go. I have no idea how they came back from routing when we had units right on them killing them. That should not happen, but it happened. So now we have to deal with these clan rats with spears, pulling up our Bleak Swords there. War Hydra is going to get supported from these shades right there who are out of ammunition. And our War Hydra is going to rout. Rod of Corruption is going to get hit on him. Although that's strong versus multiple combatants, but still it does some kind of damage. So our War Hydra is going to rout, and now we need to take down Lord Skrock still with our shades. Clan rats, I think, are going to be routing here soon. More clan rats coming in, because of course there's always rats. There's always more rats. These shades, I was trying to have them shoot Skrock, but again, it's hard to shoot a single target who's not on a mount in the middle of a melee. So they're going to just keep like running right up here to try and shoot him. War Hydra comes back, so we're going to send them immediately back up to the front. And we are going to rout Skrock, and then that's going to lead to a chain rout of what remains of the Skaven. That was a very long fight. And a good one there, especially at the end. Luckily enough, we were able to snipe the Doom Wheel and the Helped Abomination before they caused us too many problems. So, Code 1 Dread Knights managed to get 66 kills before they died. So they rampaged, killed some, or helped deal some damage to the Eagles, and then they ran straight into like Phoenix Guard and White Lions, and they just got destroyed what remained of them. I hate that rampage mechanic on Cold Ones. It sucks. It's going to be such a problem. But besides that, Bleak Swords held pretty well, considering the infantry that they were fighting there against the High Elf player. The Sorceress of Fire, 188 kills. Most of that, I'm sure, was off of the Burning Skull rampaging across the map. Dreadlord, honestly, she didn't get to do too much. She did some damage to the Eagles. She did some damage to the White Lions and the play called Catapults. But well, she got assassinated. She got surrounded by clan rats and then assassinated. So that was pretty brutal for her. The Shades, for the most part, did really well. Their Focus Fire killed a bunch of key units. Rat Ogres, Help Hit, Doom Wheel, Leadership. So they were exceptionally good. These are 900. I think the Dual Swords are 1050 or 1100? Not entirely sure. I'll try and bring the other two versions at some point. It's just they're very expensive. Probably worth it, but very, very expensive. Let's see. For the Skaven player here, their Catapults did really well. Doom Wheels still did pretty good. Their Clan Rats overwhelmed the High Elf player, and Skrock managed to snipe my Sorceress, which was unfortunate, and Assassin managed to snipe my other leadership. Let's see. Bryce was the Lothran Sea Guard. High Elf damage for them seems to be spread out across the board. The Silverhelms, though, they killed a bunch of rats. I did not realize how well they actually did, so good for them. Good job, them. And then the Lothran Sea Guard helped kill 4 Great Eagles because they charged right into spears, which was a questionable tactic. Speaking of, for the questionable tactic, we got a decent amount of kills for the Sword Masters of Hoeth against, I assume, my Bleak Swords, because I don't think they actually fought the other High Elf player. Phoenix Guard, 53 kills. The Archers didn't really get to do too much. White Lions killed some of my people as well. And the Eagles, they kind of underperformed, considering, again, they ran into spears, and then they ran into a bunch of Shades who caught them in the crossfire. So, good game to my opponents. Hope you enjoyed. Let's watch the cinematic view. Those poor spears. Get ready for the charge, friends! Hell out of there, friends!
Very well. Pushing forward.
Orchard policy. God, you're so disgusting. What was that? Oh, more clan rats or plague monks being summoned? They're all stuck in the hole. There must be like 80 or however many plague monks from the unit right there. Oh my god. Oh, that's the plague monk catapult coming in too. Alright. Damn. They got summoned into a terrible situation. So around right here, there we go. The shades are going to be focusing on this Phoenix Guard.
Very well.
Massacre them. My turn.
Destroy.
to murder, slash, kill,
And then
on to slaughter.
the execution.
Doom!
Jesus.
Going!
Kill everything.
Here are my words! I'm done!
Massacre them. Kill them.
And there they go. Rampaging off into this anti-large group over here.
Pushing forward!
It's a great idea. Cold ones, great idea. Like, they couldn't rampage over on this flank when they were barely in a Phoenix Guard. They had to go, like, right where they were.
Blood for Cain.
Onwards! It is done!
Pull back.
Yes! Forward! Setting forth! Real fury! Shennu! On the march! March! I go!
Kill them.
Moving out! Going! Indeed! It will be! I agree! Hellcry and aha! Let madness reign! Moving out! Yes! For Nagaroth!
Forward.
Pushing forward! On the march! Slaughter!
I guess they did get a couple hits in before they were out.
On to battle! Destroy them! Yes! Rivers of blood! March! Advancing! I go! Yes! I go! For Nagaroth! For the convent! On the march!
Are you loyal to Clan friends?
Going! Why? March! Very well. It is done. Dark deeds await.
All these dead eagles with their feet up in the air. Oh man.
Forward.
This is what some of my parties I've been to look like afterwards. Just a bunch of people crash out on the floor, legs up on whatever's around.
Advancing. For the slaughter. Forward. On the march.
Onwards to murder. Back.
This Doom Wheel tried.
For destruction.
Too much damage though.
On to battle! By Hecate!
around here somewhere. There you are.
My blade hunger. For the king.
Onward! Sacrifice them! Moving out! On! To battle! Forward! Striking out!
And then he's like, no, I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
On to slaughter.
Crush them! For the king!
And now for round 2.
Forward! Onward!
I think that's them routing.
Moving out! Setting forth!
Going. Forward.
Striking out!
Advance. Rookie. With pleasure. Onwards to murder. Daruki, forward. Forward. Moving out. Carnage awaits.
A lot of friends died over here in these woods. Poor cold ones.
Slay them. Slaughter them. Dead.
Setting forth!
To destruction! Death is coming! Moving out! Advance, rookie! Moving out! Reset! My blade hunger! Make them bleed! Slaughter them! Blood will flow! Advancing with pleasure to destruction! Forward! Carnage awaits! For the king! Attack! Murder awaits! Die, weaklings!
And there we go. Hope you enjoyed the battle, everybody. I will see you all next time. Take care.